Welcome to ATR Powerslam, Above the Rings YouTube show coming to you this weekend to provide all your wrestling results from the week ending in 4/15/2023 with a 50-minute time limit. We're your hosts, yes, will be Scott and Jon the Stat Man. We're going to go right into it this week. We're already post-Mania. Get ready for Double or Nothing. We're going to hop right over to Scott with Monday Night Raw.
Yes. Took a little break after, or actually before and after Mania. And obviously that's a good thing because the Raw after Mania was hot garbage. But this past week's much, much better. So we kick things off with Rey Mysterio coming out, having himself some more war of words with his son, Dominic. And this leads right into our first matchup of the night. It's Finn Balor taking on and defeating Rey Mysterio with help, of course, from Dominic. This steamrolling towards Backlash, where it's probably going to be Rey and Bad Bunny versus Dominic and Damian Priest. After that, we had a bit of a shocker. We had a new title change. It was Raquel Rodriguez and Liv Morgan defeating Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus for the WWE Women's Tag Team titles. Lita was attacked before the show started, so Trish stepped in, said, I got this. We're good. And Liv gets the pin. And then immediately after this, Trish Stratus has gone heel. Thank the Lord. She attacks Becky Lynch. And now it's on. So for those of you who are young enough to remember heel Trish Stratus in the mid-2000s, we're in for a treat. After that, we had Big E's special Big Meaty Men bumping meets, Bobby Lashley and Bronson Reed. This ending in a double countout, honestly, I'm okay with it. I normally hate these, but these two need to be protected like you wouldn't believe. So it's good that they continue to brawl, and hopefully this leads to a match between them at Backlash as well. We had Cody Rhodes come out, challenge Brock Lesnar for a match at Backlash, because at the end of Raw after Mania, Brock was supposed to team with Cody to take on Roman and Solo. Brock decides, nah, I ain't doing that. Cody, leaves him pretty much dead to rights. Cody wants his revenge, so he'll get a shot, hopefully, at Backlash. We'll find out next week when the Beast returns to Monday Night Raw. After that, we had the Usos defeat the Alpha Academy and probably the match of the night. Fantastic tag team match between both these guys. We had Io Sky become the new #1 contender for the Raw Women's Championship as she defeated both Mia Yim and Piper Niven in a triple threat match. And then Solo Sikoa, Kevin Owens, once again having a fight. Just ends in complete and utter mayhem. Usos come in, Sammy arrives, Matt Riddle shows up as well. It's just nuts. So Raw ends off on that note, which was actually a much better ending than the majority of what last week's Raw was. Jumping over to NXT, we have Alba Fire and Isla Dawn defeating Fallon Henley and Kiana James to retain their NXT Women's Tag titles. Big problems in between those, between Brooks Jensen, Josh Briggs, Fallon Henley, and Kiana James. That story is moving on, and more than likely it looks like everybody's going to be breaking up with one another. So we'll see. After that, we had Eddie Thorpe beating Big Body Javier Bernal. Tiffany Stratton defeating Sol Ruca, and probably what's going to be a image of what the NXT women's division is going to look like in the future, and it is pretty damn bright. Ilya Dragunov defeating Von Wagner, causing Mr. Stone to leave. Joe Coffey returning to the ring for the first time in quite some time, taking on and defeating the debuting Tank Ledger. And then after that, there was a fatal four-way to determine the new #1 contender for the NXT title, which will be defended in, I believe, 2 weeks at Spring Break-In. It is Grayson Waller defeating both Dragon Lee, Duke Hudson, and JD McDonough. And so I will tag over to John, and we'll talk about some Dynamite.
Oh boy. All right. The results for this past week's AEW Dynamite in Milwaukee. I'm wondering if these guys hit the brewery before this episode, but let's get right into it here. We had Darby Allin defeat Swerve Strickland, and MJF, the world champion, came out to have some words with Darby Allin, but he didn't expect Sting to show up and throw pom-poms at him. So we had that in the first segment of Dynamite here. Powerhouse Hobbs defeated Silas Young to retain the TNT title. But then Wardlow, I guess, still mad about what happened with his rental, destroyed Powerhouse Hobbs's car. There you have that. And Jay White and Juice Robinson promised the greatest error of the Bullet Club ever. What is it? Bullet Club Gold? It doesn't
Correct.
say it here, but I think that's
Yep.
what it is.
Yep.
We had Orange Cassidy defeat Buddy Matthews to retain the international title. And we saw another snippet of what they have in store for the newly masked Luchasaurus, along with Christian Cage. And we saw some more shenanigans with Ethan Page and the Matt Hardy and Private Party and a bunch of parties going on here.
Big
and
party.
The returning Jeff Hardy, finally back. You know, he looks a lot better than how he looked before. So I don't think hopefully he doesn't do too many spots where he finds himself in that position again. So hopefully good things coming for him. We had the BBC members John Moxley and Claudio Castagnoli defeating Brandon Cutler and Michael Nakazawa, with Kenny and the Bucks coming out, and then the BBC retreating shortly thereafter. We've caught up with Swerve Strickland again, saying, I guess they're the Mogul Embassy now. This was news to me. I thought it was still the Mogul affiliates, but I guess Brian Cage is in the mix now, I think, because he signed a new deal with AEW, which takes him, all the way to 2028. I found out. And then we had Ruby Soho and Tony Storm of the Outcasts defeat Riho and Sky Blue. And we had the world champion Jamie Hayter and her best friend, Dr. Britt Baker, DMD, chase them off after the match. And then the main event. We had the Goblin, Chris Jericho, defeat the Grandfather, Keith Lee, by pinfall. After Swerve Strickland hit Lee with a foreign object, Adam Cole came out after the match shortly thereafter to assure that nobody attacked Lee. Now, hold on a second. Isn't this what they were going to do with Adam Cole in WWE? Wasn't he going to be Keith Lee's manager?
Yes.
Oh, yep. Good God. All right. I don't want to take up too much time here, but I just wanted to make that known. Yep. I believe I'm tagging out here to Sam for the next batch of results.
Yeah, we got Ring of Honor and Impact. Ring of Honor is an exciting one, if I'm not mistaken. I believe this is the one that was filmed in I believe this was filmed in Kingston, Rhode Island, where I was. It was actually fun to be there. Mark Briscoe defeating Ari Daivari. We had Sky Blue take on and defeat Kelly Maiden. Hometown boy Mike Bennett loses by DQ against Darius Martin. Wheeler Yuta took on and defeated Tracy Williams. The Workhorsemen lost to Alex Coughlin and the newly crowned Pure Champion Katsuyori Shibata. I can't believe I hacked that one up. That was probably the biggest pop of the night, knowing that he was at the show. Willow Nightingale defeated Little Mean Kathleen. Stu Grayson took on and defeated Tony Nese. We also had for the a proving ground match for the women's world title, with Athena defeating Ashley DM Boise. I know I totally hacked that one up. And of course, last but not least, we had Claudio Castagnoli defeat Metalik in a Ring of Honor World Championship match. I'm going to hop over to the Impact Zone. I'm going to talk about those results quickly. A lot going on here. El Reverso defeating Johnny Swigger with Ziggy Dice on the side. We had Kenny King with Team Bully, which is Bully Ray, Masa Slamovich in the good hands, defeating Team Dreamer, Tommy Dreamer, Killer Kelly, Yuya Yamura, and Bhupinder Gujjar. We had Lince Dorado defeat Black Taurus. Knockouts World Championship Tag Team Championship match. Taylor Wilde defeating Jessica. Following that, we had a Digital Media Championship match where Joe Hendry and Dirty Dango. Actually, no, it was a tag team match with Joe Hendry, who's the Digital Media Champion. Joe Hendry, Dirty Dango defeating Sami Callihan and Alan Angels. I think they're shortening their names, it looks like, Vince style. Tasha Steele defeated Giselle Shaw. And then I think there was big news. I think Mickie James is no longer to compete at Rebellion, which by the time this actually that's happening tonight. So I think she dropped the title, and it is fair game. So not only does Josh Alexander drop it, but so does Mickie James. And I'm going to tag right back over to Scott for SmackDown.
All right. So Friday night SmackDown. Apparently after WrestleMania, we just liked the brawls to start things off because we ended up having a brawl between Matt Riddle and the WWE Tag Team Champions Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn with the Usos Solo Sequoia. This would bring in our main event later tonight. We had Xavier Woods getting a victory over LA Knight. I don't know who LA Knight pissed off in the back. I know John and I would talk about this before. It's just, I don't know. LA's pissed off somebody, but it is what it is. We had Damian Priest taking on Santos Escobar. This was a lot of fun. Santos not able to get the victory, but of course, more brawls with the LWO and Judgment Day fighting at ringside. Let's see. We had Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez get interrupted by the complaint department, Sonya Deville and Chelsea Green. It looks like we might be getting a championship tag match between those two. We had Shinsuke Nakamura with his return to SmackDown, getting a win over Madcap Moss. And then after that, we looking like we're going to have ourselves a WWE Tag Team rematch as Paul Heyman announces that the Usos will be taking on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. But Roman is seemingly losing patience with the Usos, so the crumbling of the bloodline does continue. And then our main event was Solo Sequoia taking on Matt Riddle. Solo getting the win and then having a brutal post-match attack, pretty much leaving Riddle buried underneath the announce table. So a lot of fighting, a lot more fun going on. Everybody I know was worried after the Raw After Mania, but thankfully it looks like things are on the right track again. So for our final thing, I'll tag back over to John. We can talk some Rampage and wrap this baby up.
All right, closing out the week with Rampage. What a week it's been. All right, so we had, to start off, we had Aussie Open defeating Best Friends for the IWGP tag team title. Looks like we had an 8-man tag team match with Mark Briscoe doing an unlikely team up with Jeff Jarrett, Jay Lethal, and Satnam Singh. And they had defeated the Spanish Announce Project and Jake Manning, whoever that is. Following that, we had Emi Sakura defeating Taya Valkyrie defeating Emi Sakura. And with Valkyrie being attacked by Jade Cargill and Layla Gray after the match, and Valkyrie being hit with Jaded. And it looks like this was the main event of the night. We had Jungle Boy Jack Perry versus Shawn Spears, with Jack Perry getting the win. It looks like the returning Shawn Spears once again. I'm sure he'll be gone for a few more months and do another return down the line again. And that was the result. I can't talk today. These are the results for Rampage. And with that, Powerslam for this week is done. Right, Sam?
Yes, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to listen to our ATR Above the Ring podcast that will be dropping this Monday. You're not going to want to miss this one. Thank you so much for watching.